Welcome to gagrule.net. My name is Wally Sarkisian. So lots of people are saying, like you don't have scheduled and we don't know when you run a program stuff, which is, I agree with them. So we're trying now to regularly run on about 7 p.m. It depends now if it's got winter, maybe we change that. So that's what we're trying to do. We have lined up some people for interview or conversation, and then we'll have our own episode to talk about it. And so I hope people will join in, and I hope you guys could share this stuff and join in and have a conversation. And if you have a Skype or Zoom, you're welcome. We'll bring you in. You could talk, and if you have something good to say or bad to say, or you belong to any party or any organization, we have no problem. Never had. Because I do not belong to any political party or any organization. We just talk everything freely. And so we're welcome anyone who wants to come, say, whether you're entertainment or you're political or religious, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. But we'll question you, of course. We're not going to sit there and let you say whatever you want, But yeah, you could say whatever you want, but we'll ask you questions. So today, our episode is fear. How people put fear in other people and get doing. So I had this woman video, trust me, it was about 20 years ago, because during Rwanda's genocide and all that stuff. And I just came across it today, and before we were doing lots of this stuff. And basically, I want you to see it. She's saying if it's very easy to go kill people if people put that fear in you. If I say to you, if we don't go kill that guy and he's going to come and kill us, then it's easy for you to go kill. So let's run that, and then we'll go through with other stuff to talk about it.
Admittedly uneducated way is that if I had $1 for every Rwandan who said to me, we had an education system that didn't encourage people to ask questions, far too deferential, no questioning of authority. So when the orders came down to kill, people did, and that applied, and of course, to Weimar Germany. Again, this is not an African syndrome, it's a human syndrome. Hate propaganda, but it's not enough to racially hate someone. It's not enough to despise their religion. The key factor, I think, is fear. Once you have convinced someone that unless they kill that Tutsi or that Jew or that Armenian, unless you kill them, they're going to come and get you. Once you've done that and you've dehumanized them, I promise you it's really easy to kill your neighbor because, gee, I'm just defending myself. And that's the brilliance of really good hate propaganda, is that it adds the fear to that, so you feel justified in what you're going to do. And now for the bit that I always enjoy talking about, because I hope it gets the academics in the room squirming. In a lot of these genocides, there has been an intellectual pretext for the genocide. There has been some clever son of a bitch who writes a book saying, it is the destiny, Lebensraum, it is the destiny of the German people to get the Jews out. It is to our shame that there is always someone educated who should know better, who will provide a text that calls on the young men in particular to seize this great moment of destiny. And to do it has to be done. And it happens again and again. Equally depressing is our response, the pattern of the way we respond. The first thing we do is that we deny that it's genocidal in intent. We do this by saying, ancient ethnic hatreds, all kinds of tribal things that we don't understand. That's one way that we get around it. Another way is that we deny the scale. So, for instance, recently some British cabinet minutes from the Second World War were published, And they revealed Churchill's reaction when a Jewish delegation came to see him to tell him what was happening in the death camps. And the memo says, well, you know, the Jewish people, they're rather excitable and they're given to overreaction. So we're going to treat this with a pinch of salt. Exactly the same thing has happened with every genocide that I've looked at, is that we deny that there is a genocidal intent and then we deny the scale of it. Another favorite trick is to pretend that it's a humanitarian disaster rather than having political roots. That's so often the response. And we do that, incidentally, because it's so much easier to write a check than to actually try and have a political process to solve the underlying problems in this. This is happening in Darfur, and it has right from the beginning. And so I still meet people who say to me, oh, Darfur, isn't there some awful famine there? So much easier, wouldn't it be? Rather than actually confronting the fact that we need a political solution to this. Another game is moral equivalency, and this one we drag out all the time. They're all as bad as each other. Oh, I can't be bothered with that. Oh, Africa, what a mess, bottomless pit. And it lets us off the hook, because the minute we can say that, they're all as bad as each other, we don't have to do anything about it. Another one is to engage ourselves in endless peace processes. Trying to do business with the architect of the genocide is not a great idea. And so when I have people say to me, well, you know, the Darfuris, they really, you know, why don't they try and make peace instead of being like that? It's a bit like saying to the Jews, you need to have a ceasefire with Hitler. Admittedly uneducated.
All right. So there you go. Genocide, endless peace process. I hope you learn something from that. And that's how they justify you to go kill someone, because they say if you don't kill that person, it's going to come kill us. You create the fear, the hatred. Now, let me show you this. I've been showing for a couple of days all this. You know, Pashinyan revolution. If Pashinyan at that rally in 2018, if he used this word, which I'm going to show you in a minute, do you think Pashinyan even would be alive today? Never mind elected. Have a look at this. Sorry, I'm just keep showing this.
Qarabաղը հանձնելու ենք Փարուխի դեպքերը ձեզ օրինակ կտոր Qarabաղը հանձնելու ենք Փարուխի դեպքերը ձեզ օրինակ կտոր Qarabաղը հանձնելու ենք.
Now you tell me that if Pashinyan have said that word during 2018 revolution, would people not drag him off that podium and smash him? But you see, this is what politicians are. They never tell you the truth. They always want to get to that seat, surround themselves in the bubble with the military, police, all that protection, then they could say whatever they want. You can't do much about it. That's pretty good an example what politicians are. So fear, and also happened with religion. This guy here, an Indian guru, he comes to America, he goes to Oregon, somewhere there in some village. He organized people. He talk about peace and bullshit stuff, you know. And the people believe him. I created a cult. And people start following him. And he even forced people to wear orange. He said, no, you cannot see me if you don't wear orange. Look at that, people. He created this massive cult. All the flowers, everything on him. But then what happened? He knew FBI was after him. And he took with a private jet all the money, and he took off, and he wanted to refuel in South Carolina. The FBI caught them in this whole organization, and they put all his Rolls Royces for sale. This is what it is. People follow This is the problem of people. So let's go back to Armenia. Those two cults. You see, if you look at Pashinyan before, he was slick, wearing nice, shaved. So what happened? So he had to replicate cult, grow beard, wear military camouflage where he never served in the military, wear a hat, backpack, who knows what satellite communication he had. That's what they create cult. Why did he do this? He never even served in the military. But they have to create this character. Just like this guy, he grew up a beard, put a hat on it. People believe it. Says, oh, this guy is smart. Did anybody question Pashinyan? What do you do? No, he just put fear in people. He did character assassination of Sarkisian and Kocharian, blackmailed them, put fear in Armenian people. Oh, those Talanchi, if you will let those, they're gonna destroy the country. See, they put a fear. The fear, it works. Do you see how he replicated this Indian guru, growing beard, hat, camouflage? But do you see nowadays with the camouflage? No. This is how they fool people. This is what happened. So I had interview with
They decided to not vote for anyone,
Marukian. Listen.
and they voted for Pashinyan. So now I meet them in streets when I go out in cafeterias in different places, and they say, "You know what? We are very sorry that you are not in the parliament." And I said, "Yeah, but in order to be in the parliament, you must vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Vote." And I said, "You know what? We decided in a family that our whole family must vote for you. We decided, but on Friday we saw that rally, and we were afraid that they will come back. And we decided that our 5 votes will not change anything if we voted for you, but that 5 votes will be very important for Mr. Pashinyan, and we give that votes to him." So this is all. I mean, this was the situation.
Well, this
And
is
the other
exactly
thing
what
is
I'm
that-
talking about. This is exactly,
Yeah.
this is why it's going to be, I think tomorrow Pashinyan could run for election again. He will just still be prime minister, just like how, see, Pashinyan put fear on them, told them, if you don't vote for me, you vote for Marukian, the foreigners, they're going to come. Fear. Do you see how fear work? How Pashinyan took over that country by just putting fear. He never told them what education he has, what business experience has, nothing. All he has to do, put fear. Kailar Merji Sergi. That's it. And even I asked that question to him when he came to Los Angeles. All journalists, they were there. He says, I took a step and those sheep, they follow me. That was his answer. Fear. And he also put, during the war, he put fear in Armenians and Armenian military. A Turkish drone. And in fact, I don't know if I have this from beginning, they said, listen to this.
Հավաքված են, ինչպես քարոշչոյի ժամանակ, ասենք, մենք նույն բայրակտարին սարքեցինք Աստված, մենք ինքներս
Ես հարց ունեմ դրա հետ կապված։ Ես հարց ունեմ։
Մենք սարքեցինք մեր քարոշչության պատճառով եւ դա քանի որ մտնում էր ադրբեջանական քարոշչական թեզերի ռազմավարության մեջ, իրանք ինձ դա ուզում էին այդպես լիներ, մենք ինքնին ծաղկացինք դա եւ
Ընդ որում ես այստեղ շատ կարևոր մի բան է, մենք բայրակտարավաղ ստեղծեցինք մեր հասարակության մեջ, մենք ինքներս մեկ ձեռ։ Ընդ որում ես որ ասեցի, ես պետք է ասեմ, մի պահեստազորի գնդապետ է ինձ հետ կապվել, բավականին կիրթ եւ գրագետ անգամ ձեռագրից է երևում, որը հենց այդ մասին էր ինձ ասել, որ զրուցում ենք մենք իհարկե ես հարգելով պահպանում եմ նրա գաղտնիությունը, ինքը ասեց, որ այդ բայրակտարները չեն օգնել Ադրբեջանին հաղթել, բայրակտարները չեն եղել վճռական գործ, իրականում մենք ճոխացրել ենք դա, քո կարծիքը։
Դա հազար անգամ եմ ասել, ընդհանրապես օթային օթային գերճշգրիտ հարվածային միջոցները պատերազմում խաղացել են շատ կարևոր դեր, բայց եթե վերցնենք նախ սխալ է եւ անգրագիտության վերջին աստիճանն է զինվորական անգրագիտությունը, քաղաքացիները մեղավորության իրանք լսում են անգրագետ շատ զինվորականներ եւ կրկնում են այդ թեզերը, բայց զինվորականի տեսանկյունից վերին աստիճանի անգրագիտություն է Ադրբեջանի օթային հարձակման միջոցներից առանձին որևէ մեկին տալ այսպես բան սուպեր զենքի կարգավիճակ լինի դա բայրակթարը թե չգիտեմ ինչը Ադրբեջանը այստեղ կիրառել է հիմնականում թուրքական եւ իսրայելական մասնագետների շնորհիվ համակարգային օթային գերակայության կոմպոնենտալ լուծումներ այսինքն տարատեսակ օթային ղեկավարման կետեր իսկ պատերազմի ժամանակ էլ էի դասում ուղղակի մեր մոտ քանի որ մարդիկ շատ չեն խորանում դրսի բաների վրա հազար անգամ ասում էի օթային ղեկավարման կետերը F-16-երը Hermes 900-ները դրանց մեջ նոր գալիս են իսրայելական 3-4 տեսակի APS-ները հերրահար հակատանք Արոպներն են, air striker-ներն են, orbiter-ի տարբեր տեսակներ են եւ այլն եւ այլն bayraktarն է
You see that? They put fear in Armenian military heart. Turkish drone. And Turkey was in Syria, it was in Iraq, it was in Libya. Nobody knew about Turkish drone. In Armenia, try Pashinyan, bumped it up, drone. They were losing war because of the drone and Turkish drone. Think about that. And Turkey ended up selling billions of dollars drone thanks to Pashinyan. And he put fear in Armenian military people and also the public. See, and everybody was talking about Turkish drone. All newspapers writing how drone won this war, In fact, according to this guy, the Israeli drone was more effective than the Turkish drone. But this is what Pashinyan did. He put fear in Armenian people and the Armenian military. So fear, it works. So these two guys, a master of the fear, and so there is no difference between this Indian guru and this Pashinyan ruler. That is the truth. And there is a lot of stuff we could show you, but we don't want to bore you. But we just want to show you how this cult got created. So Pashinyan created this massive cult in Armenia. And I said to you, and I'm going to say it, if Pashinyan have said this words, during the 2018, he would not be even alive now. But he never said that. He never said we don't need sushi. He never said he's going to give all those villages. None of that stuff. He was blaming the former. See, my hope, always in Armenia when I went, I thought, okay, the old one, they think differently, new one, but the new ones are just as brainwashed as the old ones. I met Armenian young guy couple in a restaurant, were sitting beside me, happened to be. And the guy was telling me, I wouldn't talk about Pashinyan, and he wouldn't talk to Pashinyan. He wouldn't talk anything about Pashinyan. He would just talk the former. He says the former, 10 years ago, they sold Artsakh and got the millions of dollars, and they just brought Pashinyan in to blame Pashinyan. I mean, this is how they're brainwashed. What can you do about them? There's nothing you could do. Brainwash people, it's called there is nothing you could do. I mean, you saw even in Trump, those people, all Trump has to do, say, go to Capitol, they went in there and destroy everything. That's how cultism is. Very, very dangerous, unfortunately. But people follow. Rallies, political rallies. What is it? You tell me. What is it that you cannot hear from your leader by email or Facebook or YouTube that you need to go to a rally? And what do you do in the rally besides and then repeating what the leader says? And how many times in Pashinyan rallies. Kyle R. Merji searching. Kyle R. Merji. So he brainwashed these people to death. Cult. Armenia is in a cult country now. There's not much could be done about it. And unless this cult, and unless there is a military takeover, intervention, removing this cult, there's nothing anybody could do because those people are brainwashed. I just showed you Marukian. He's now joined Pashinyan because we can't do nothing. Even if tomorrow there is election, Pashinyan will win because he created cult. The cult, they follow. They, look at that. They bought 92 Rolls Royces. He would not drive anything. It has to be a Rolls Royce. This is what cult do. But do they believe, the Pashinyan people believe they are cult? No. They just have been brainwashed. The formers. Everything is the formers. 4 years now, he haven't proved a single thing about former. He threw Kocharian in jail, from jail to jail, from court to court. He changed the judges, but he could not prove anything. He wanted to implicate Kocharian for the crime Pashinyan committed. And then every time here, I try to invite 2 political parties. They don't want to come. They hate each other. This Marukian, where you saw there, I invited him. I invited Ara Papian. He said, no, I don't want to talk to him. 35 party. That's the problem. See, we in Western Armenia, diaspora, we had only 3 parties for 100 years. And we don't have any dictatorship. All those parties. I don't belong to anybody. But Tashnag, you tell me if somebody give me now $1 million, who is Tashnag leader in diaspora? I have no idea. Unless if I go check and find out, because they constantly change, someone else comes. Same thing with Romkov, same thing with other ones. But in Armenia, it's all dictatorship. They come in power, they stay in power. And then they call it democracy. Well, if you have a cult, and look at in Turkey, he created this cult in Turkey. Azerbaijan created cult. Everybody else, you throw them in jail. Anyone who's smart to object to him, it goes into jail. And like right now, it's Pashinyan doing. Anyone who has a brain, he won't even let to go in Armenia. That's the danger of cultism is. Very, very dangerous. And how you uncult them, I have no idea. Well, in this Guru case, there was FBI investigating, know how he is. But who's going to investigate Pashinyan and his cult? He owned everything. Everyone in his government are cult member. And so that's the problem is. So next episode, we'll talk some more about this stuff. And we're going to talk to you about my visit to Jerusalem, how amazing place is, how Armenian Quarter, you just don't believe it. You do not believe how those people, 1200 years, they came to Jerusalem, and with all empire after empire, earthquake, those people stayed. And this is, I'm telling you, Western Armenians are just builders. They are amazing people. All right. So that's about it. It's about almost half an hour. So I don't want to bore you. And please, if you know anybody want to come and talk, or if there's any subject you want us we talk, we'll do it. And thank you for following us. Thank you for sharing stuff. And we have updated all our system now. We spend a bunch of money. And we do everything for free. We don't charge anybody because so nobody comes says, oh, you did this or you said that because somebody pay you. No. We don't do that. For 20 years, we do all these things for free. And because that's all Western Armenian do everything for free. I mean, all Armenian organizations are run 90%, 99%, all volunteer. They pay money, like the Armenian Museum in Glendale. I remember I was there one night, $31,000. No, 31 million, I think. I'm just confused a little bit. Yeah, one night, Armenian came, volunteered, says, here. That's Western Armenia. They do things. But unfortunately, other places if you compare Armenian Quarter in Jerusalem, which is city among city or country within country, and compare that to Armenia. Armenia, they have country, they have government, they have military, they have police, institution, universities, they still can't manage themselves. But those people, they don't have anything, but they still sustain powerful Jerusalem. They're the only one, beside the Jews, have their own stand-alone quarters. How you not be proud of them? All right. So that's for today. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. We might have some guests. Have a nice day or evening, and please share this stuff and enjoy it. Take care. All the best.